everyone, Becky here, and I am coming today with just a really quick video on how to sew a tube and turn it without having to use any tools. This is really helpful if one, you don't want to have to get up from your machine, or you don't want to have to deal with tools, finding them, whatever. But this is just a great way to do it, and you can do it on a serger or your regular machine, and it's just a really efficient way. So I have my strap that I am going to be sewing and turning and showing you how to do this. Alright, so here is my little trick for turning your tubes without a tool. And all you need is your piece and your machine. And just like any other tube, the thinner your piece is, or your final strap, or whatever it is you're sewing, the harder it's going to be to turn. So if you have something really narrow, it's going to be harder to turn. And it's also going to be a little bit harder with this method because what we're going to do is we're going to basically have a tail through our piece that we're not going to sew, and you don't want to get it caught in your seams. Otherwise, you're going to have some issues. And I will say there is another way to do this, that you could sew a ribbon onto it and pull it through if you wanted to do it that way. But what we're going to do is, the first thing I'm going to do is go over to my machine and sew a really long tail, and I'm going to be doing this on my serger, but you could do it with a regular sewing machine as well. You would just pull out the thread. So I'm going to take you guys over to my serger and show you how I'm going to do this. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just serge and push my pedal and sew a tail longer than the size of my piece. So that is plenty long. And then you're going to pull your tail through. You're not going to cut it off. You're going to pull it through under your presser foot. And I'm going to take my piece here and fold it in half with right sides together. And this is swim, so it's a little bit trickier. And then I'm going to put my tail, and I have my tail as far over towards my folded side as I can, because you don't want it to get caught when you're stitching. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to pull on it. It's going to be sewed into the seam. So I have it all the way over there. I'm going to put my piece in, my presser foot down, and you can see my tail here. Again, I'm going to keep it as far to my seam as I can and just start sewing that, and then adjusting and pulling my tail as I go. And so if your piece is really thin, like I said, it's going to be harder to not catch your tail, and the wider it is, the easier it is to just kind of keep it pulled off to the side. I'm going to finish sewing. I'm going to keep this tail out away. I'm going to pull here, and I'm just going to trim this. And so now I have my tail in here, and you can see as I pull it, it's starting to pull the top in, and usually you have to kind of start it yourself and just flip that top down in there. And then I'm just going to pull my tail, and it just acts as a nice little tube turner for me. And like that, I am done. And then you just clip that tail off, and you are done. So like I said, the other way is you would baste a ribbon on and pull it through, and then the same thing, and you would just cut it off. But now I have a strap for my swimsuit, and you are done. No tools needed, and it actually works really well. Like I said, again, the skinnier your strap is, this comes out to I think about 1/2 inch once it's done, and it turns really easily. Alright, like I said, now we have our strap, and we are done, or whatever your tube, whatever it is that you are sewing and turning. And I hope you loved this method of doing it. A lot of people don't know it, but it's really quick and easy, and like I said, you don't have to deal with finding any tools or anything like that. So if you liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You can also find me on Instagram. It's at Sewbex. That's SEWBEXX. And I share lots of sewing tips and tricks there and different things that I'm working on. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below, or you can always reach out on Instagram and I would be happy to help. So thanks for watching. Bye.